What is up, guys? So last night at 2 a.m. Eastern time, hold on, I gotta get this right. 2 a.m. Eastern time, the Olympic marathon went down in Paris, France, and our American compatriots, Clayton Young and Connor Mantz, placed top 10. So today what I wanted to do, I know we usually do this Saturday ASMR. We're not doing the Saturday ASMR today because I decided to sleep in. Because Charlie and I were up late last night watching House of Dragons. It's a very good show. So I slept in, no Saturday ASMR, no Max Cushion comparison. I wanted to do a revisit. The benefit of sleeping in was I was able to wake up, check the news, all that good stuff, and see who won the Paris Olympic Marathon. And now we can do a revisit of our friends' shoes here. Clayton Young and Connor Mantz. These are the same exact shoes. I think I'm gonna have felt like a spider web in my mouth. I think it was just the American flag. That's how patriotic I am. I eat the flag for breakfast. We're gonna do a revisit. Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. This is what Clayton Young was wearing, 2:08:44. That's an absolute beast time on a tough course. And Connor Mantz was wearing the Nike Alphafly 3, a little bit different because he wears the 1 a lot actually. I think he was wearing the 1 at the Olympic trials this year. And he came in at a 2:08:16. I might be 1 or 2 seconds off on those times, but 2:08 times, 2 absolutely beast. We're just full clown mode out here today. 2 absolutely beast performances. Shout out to America. Shout out to Clayton Young. Shout out to Connor Mantz. We're gonna get into it. I also need to say shout out to Noah Lyles, Gabby Thomas, Sha'carri Richardson, TT, all the women on the 4x100, absolutely beast performance yesterday. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, Grant Holloway. Did I miss anybody else? There's a lot of people who won gold, but those are the people that I was rooting for. Everyone that we shouted out in that Running Warehouse Instagram short won gold. So shout out to all the American athletes putting in the work. It's a dang good week, month, year to be an American, baby. Let's drop the national anthem and get into it.
Psst, I see dead people.
Put it on that beat.
Aye, mustard on the beat, Debo, any rap. He a freak though, man down, call like Amber Lambs. Tell him breathe, bro. Nella new to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni air? Trying to see Compton, the industry can hate me. Marlon, they mama, how many options?
All right, Charlie was watching me. That's officially the end of that. All right, let me go grab. I wanted to grab the shoes for the top 3 males who placed because I did also want to shout out the guys who actually won the race. So hold on, I'll be back in a second.
Really got, I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your hot the Bible if God watching.
All right, so before we get into Clayton and Connor, shout out to my guy Tamara Tola from Ethiopia, 2:06:20 Olympic record. He was rocking, we cannot let the flag touch the ground. Yeah, so my guy Tamara Tola was rocking the Adidas, I always say Evo Pro. It's the Pro Evo 1. This is the lightest, fastest race shoe that I've tried. This thing is an absolute banger. It's $500. It's not really a shoe that Adidas designed for regular hobby joggers and consumers, but it's their elite pinnacle racing product. Tamara Tola used this to win. It's a great shoe. I'm hoping that the Adidas Adios Pro 4 and what it looks like is that shoe from all of the developments that they made to this is gonna have some of that technology trickle down, which is great. So the winner were this shoe, and then number 2 of the men's race, Bashir Abdi from Belgium. Why can't we get Bashir Abdi to immigrate to America? That wouldn't have been a good decision. We would have had a silver medal. 2:06:47 in the Asics Metaspeed Edge Paris. So it's interesting that you had 2 elite marathoners, Clayton Young and then Bashir Abdi, both Asics athletes, choosing different shoes. So Bashir chose the Edge, and our friend Clayton from the good old US of A, little Utah action, out there putting in work in Park City. Our friend Mr. Young chose this. Mr. Abdi from Belgium putting in work. I'm sure he was fueling up with the waffles. I don't even know anything about Belgium. Is that where the bank is? Brussels? There's something important that happens in Brussels. It's like the center of NATO or something. But Bashir Abdi was rocking this guy. So difference between the Edge and the Sky, I found the Edge has a little bit more of a forgiving feel, especially for me as a hobby jogger, not running. So 2:06 marathon pace, that's 4:50 something. Not running 4:50 something pace in either of these shoes. The slower I go, the more that I prefer the Edge. It just feels a little bit better for me at slower paces. You have more foam closer to the foot versus the Sky Paris. The plate is a little bit closer to the foot. The Sky Paris just feels more aggressive to me. This is what our friend Clayton wore. And then number 2, Bashir Abdi. Shout out to Bashir. Shout out to the whole nation of Belgium. He was rocking with the Edge Paris. And then number 3 in the men's race, Mr. Benson Kiproto from Kenya, 2:07 flat. Kiproto was also rocking with the Evo Pro. So this is the shoe, and this is why I was talking about this earlier this week with the Adios Pro 3. This is why Adidas is not pushing out the Adios Pro 4. They're in no rush to do that because their elites can just use this. So us hobby joggers, we're either left having to buy the Adios Pro 3 or we could buy any one of these other shoes that's a little bit more competitive. Adios Pro 3 is still a great option. It's not the fastest option, it's not the most aggressive, it's not the lightest weight. It's still a great hobby jogger shoe though, because it's supportive, it's got some structure, it's got some pop, it's durable. So for those of us out there who want to put a lot of miles on our race shoe before race day, which is what I advise, you don't want to show up with a brand new shoe that you've never raced in before, unless of course you're gonna train in the Sky Paris, then get a brand new pair of Sky Paris for race day like our friend Clayton Young did. That was his strategy with the shoe. But for most of us out there, you wanna feel confident and comfortable in your shoe before race day. You can't do that with the Evo Pro because it's not super durable. Look, I mean, just look at this rubber, but you can do that with the Adios Pro 3. So Adios Pro 4 is gonna be coming soon, but their elites are racing in these. Let's see what the women's, oh no. They didn't post the women's on the forums. That's disrespectful, man. Once we get the hobby jogger forums going, we're gonna post the women's. That's super disrespectful. I'm just hold on. I'm gonna look up who won the women's and what they're wearing.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
This is just disrespectful, man. I can't find anything. But so Magertu Alamu, our friend Magertu Alamu from Ethiopia, she won the women's Olympic marathon. I'm on her IG right now. Shout out to Magertu Alamu. Go follow her on IG. She was wearing the Vaporfly at Chicago last year. I'm gonna guess she's a Vaporfly gal, and she wore the Vaporfly to win. I'll see if I can do some digging when I edit this and post it. This is annoying, man. We gotta spotlight the women and the men. Anyway, women, men, all that. It's about America. It's about America today. So let's dive into the American shoes. Let's start off with Conor Mantz's shoe, because this is an American brand. This is Nike. So this is Conor Mantz's shoe of choice for the Olympics, Nike Alphafly 3. And what I found interesting about this shoe is that, or Conor's shoe choice, is that throughout the Conor Mantz and Clayton Young series, he's actually training a lot, not just in the Alphafly 3, but in the Alphafly 1. And I believe he raced the Olympic trials in the Alphafly 1. So I'm not sure if it was his decision or Nike's decision to say, hey buddy, you gotta wear the electric pack because this is what we're trying to push. This is our latest pinnacle racing product. Regardless of whose decision it was, this is what he wore. This is Nike's latest and greatest. So I personally, I have had a little bit of a mixed experience so far with this shoe. We're gonna get some miles in it because that's the point of this video. I'm gonna get some miles in this, in the Sky Paris. So far, this has been good, but not great compared to a lot of the racing shoes out there. And I think it moves in numbers because of the AirPod and because of the swoosh. So, or the swoosh, because it's Nike. So it's felt good for me for forefoot striking. It's felt good for faster running. And if you look at Conor Mantz's running form, he is the most aggressive forefoot striker I have ever seen. Clayton Young, he lands a little bit more flat-footed. Conor Mantz pops off the front here. He just tears it. He must put so many pounds of force down through the front of this AirPod here. It's insane. So that's really the key draw of this shoe. You get a full length bed of the ZoomX in the back. You get the top layer of the ZoomX in the front, carbon fiber plate in the middle, and then these AirPods below. For me personally, I have found that the AirPod creates a little bit of a firmer, more structured feeling when landing compared to the Vaporfly. But that's just my experience. So we're gonna lace this thing up, go for just a quick 2-mile jaunt, reacquaint ourselves with it. I'll let you know the strengths, the weaknesses, who this might be best for, and then we'll do the same for Clayton Young's shoe. Let's do it. All right, lacing up the Alphafly 3 here. And a lot of these racing shoes, they feel like elite racing shoes. And when I say that, I mean, for me, sometimes I feel like I'm too slow to really get the biggest benefit out of these shoes. And this is one of them, right? Shoes like the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4, New Balance SC Elite V4, Diodora Gara. Some of these racing shoes for me feel, Hoka Cielo X1, feel like they're designed for me. Feel like I could get the most benefit with this shoe. And I'm a 249 marathoner. That's my marathon PR. 119 half marathon. I've run a sub 5-minute mile. So I'm in between middle pack and elite. I'm kind of just average. I'm dead center. And yeah, I find that even for me, and especially with my foot strike, sometimes these shoes are just way too aggressive. Oh gosh, we have lacing drama. Yeah, sometimes these shoes just feel too aggressive for me. But lacing this thing up, man, this has a great upper. I absolutely love the upper. It is so form-fitting. It just hugs my foot. Also, the design of this is sick. Nike doesn't get everything right, and I know they're lagging behind with some technology. Some of these shoes, for example, the Alphafly 3, it hasn't really changed all that much since it first came out. But the design of this is so good. This is the prototype colorway. I was fortunate to have Nike send me this back when it came out, and it is just beautiful. All right, let's get some Conor Mantz miles in. Two little miles, just reacquaint ourselves. We have the long run tomorrow, so today is just about fun and remembering what it feels like to run in these shoes. Let's do it. Alright, running in the Nike Alphafly 3, and you can hear this thing before you can see it. It is just clomp, clomp, clomp. That AirPod in the front is just so loud. And man, this thing just feels like a racing weapon. It's loud, it's aggressive. You feel like you're running on technology. There's these mechanical components under your feet crunching. I feel like the Terminator. So yeah, the rocker on these is super aggressive. It gets me up on my toes right away. And it really wants me to land in the front. And because of that, I don't even really feel the soft ZoomX. I just feel those coil springs under the forefoot. And it's just such an aggressive feeling. Oh man, I just ate breakfast. Feeling kind of full. A bagel, some sausages, OJ. It's not sitting too right now. Oh, I'm cramping. But yeah, this thing is bouncy. It's fun. It doesn't feel like it's the lightest in the world, and it's 220 grams compared to 190 for the Metaspeed shoes. And the Evo, I think, is, what is the Evo? Like 160s or something. Maybe we should throw these all on the scale. But yeah, this is a shoe that it's all about power. Alright, that was 1 mile, 7 flat pace. And this shoe really just wants me to drop the hammer. This is a grip and rip shoe. You can hear it. It's begging me to put some force down through the forefoot. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do one little surge here. Get down to 520 or something pace. Hold on. All right, I had to do it. That was 4:49 pace, just a little stride, and man, so that's Connor Mantz's marathon pace roughly. Actually, I ran for 13 seconds, but at that pace and only letting my toes hit the ground, this shoe feels so good. That's what it's designed to do. Fast and forceful through the front of the platform. That's how you have to be running in the shoe to get the most benefit and for this shoe to be the optimal shoe for you. Our friend Rob Barnett, my guy, runs like an absolute gazelle. One of our mates from the UK. He loves the Alphafly. And I saw this video of him on Strava running. He runs like a gazelle. Only his toes touch the ground. It's wild. He's a little bit faster than I am, but we have completely different running styles. And that's why it's so important to pick a shoe that works for your running style. Over the course of a marathon, this would not be the right shoe for me because I do not run like a gazelle. I run like a hungry wolf. No form, just trying to hunt and kill. And so I choose shoes that are a little bit better for that. And you can see even in the elite ranks, given that Benson Capruto and Clayton Young chose two different shoes, and Benson Capruto chose the shoe that I find less aggressive but ran faster. It's all about just what works for you. All right, that was Connor Mantz. We're gonna end it here. We're back. All right, what do we get here? 2 miles in Connor Mantz's race shoe, average 7 flat pace. We threw one 13-second pace pickup in there at his marathon race pace. Let's change into the Sky Paris. Man, the words of Bia. It's a whole lot of money in this. Shout out Bia. All right, man, every time I run in the Alphafly now, I like it more. And I think we're at about 80 miles in the Alphafly, so we got to do a 100-mile review of this. And I think this might be going up to my top 5, I don't even know, top 3 favorite race shoes. I'm still not sure if I could run a full marathon in it, but I'm thinking about doing a 5K at some point soon. And I think that the Alphafly would be a great choice for that. But now we're lacing up the Sky Paris. So the Alphafly feels special when you put it on. I mean, just look at this, right? And we often think about biases. What does that mean? What does it mean to be biased? It means that you have a preconceived notion, or before you have any information, you have thoughts already formulated about something. So when I see, the mayor's putting in the work with the weed whacker, or it's the leaf blower. Hold on. Let's just lace these things up. I'll talk to you about this out there.
certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some him. Pull on him.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What I was gonna say is when I see the Nike swish, I feel inspired to run or to do something related to sports. The Nike design system is cool, it's fast, it's aggressive. And lacing this shoe up, it feels special. It feels like an Olympic marathon shoe. And I don't get that out of the Sky Paris when I lace it up. It just feels a little bit average. There's nothing that remarkable about the shoe, just putting it on. So let's see if that changes when we get out there and run. I think it will. What do you think? So this is the first time I've run in the shoe since my own marathon back in April. And man, this feels flat, narrow. Every time I run in the shoe and I'm not putting down close to elite paces, it just does not feel right. You gotta be putting down some force, even more than the Alphafly, I think. So yeah, the fun factor definitely goes to the Alphafly. That has a lot more fun, a lot more bounce. This feels very serious, very buttoned up. It's almost like it has the personality of Clayton Young himself. He's a clean-cut, well-spoken chap from Utah. And that's what this shoe is. It's clean, it's mean, it's lean. There's no frills, no fun. Well, I'm sure Clayton Young has fun, but this shoe does not have fun. Cramp worked itself out, which is good. I just had to hit Connor Mantz marathon pace for 13 seconds. I think this might be even more of a 4-foot striker shoe than the Alphafly, because the heel is narrower here and you really do not get, you get less benefit out of this at a slower pace than you do for the Alphafly. This is firm, man, this is firm at this slower pace. All right, we're gonna throw an early little pace pickup here. Ready? All right. So we just hit the same pace as last time. 4:49 on the straightaway, just 10 to 15 seconds. This shoe doesn't feel like you get as much benefit, as much assistance. It feels a little bit more natural. The rocker's not as big. You can't feel the pods as much. The Alphafly, you get a lot more bounce. And it feels like more of a wild and exciting experience. This guy here is good because of what it's not. It's not heavy. It's not cumbersome. It's not soft. It's also not fun. That's the headline for the shoe. It is not fun. All right, so we just hit a mile. I'm reminded of all the things I like and dislike about this shoe. It's very lightweight. It's easy to pick up the legs and turn them over. The foam has decent bounce when running fast. But on the contrary, it's not the most exciting shoe. It is very narrow. It's not the most comfortable shoe. I think the Alphafly takes it for comfort, for excitement. This takes it for weight. And as a hobby jogger, I'm not all that concerned about weight. And maybe the elites shouldn't be either, given that this is 20 grams heavier than Clayton Young's shoe and Connor Mantz, or this is lighter, and Clayton Young still finished roughly the same time, 30 seconds behind Connor Mantz. I really think it's all about comfort and confidence. Clayton Young trained in this shoe all block, so he raced in it and he did great. I just don't think this is a hobby jogger race shoe. I can't believe I ran a marathon in this. Oh my goodness. What was I thinking? All right, we're almost back. I'm gonna do one more little surge right here. Let's give it to old Clayton Young. Ready? Woo! Nice smooth 4:30 pace. Dude, I really want to cut the mileage next year. See how fast I can get. This mileage is just suffocating my speed. But we got mileage goals to hit this year. And then we're going to be banging out some fast 5Ks and 10Ks 2025. You think the bag won't let you disrespect Pac? All right. How did Rory Linkletter do? How did our guy Rory from Canada do? Canada's down bad this summer. USA up. All right. Can you guys see that? We got 2.16 miles. I have no idea if you can see that. You can see that now. 7:13 pace, 15 minutes. Nice little 4 Ps on the morning in the Sky Paris and Alphafly 3. And these things are so narrow. It's like landing on a pinhead. It's like landing on a pinhead. Oh man, if you guys watch the Connor Mantz and Clayton Young series, you could see how hard those guys go in training. That's what it's about. 98% of it is training. We had people running sub 210s before these carbon fiber plated race shoes. Those guys probably still would have ran 209, 210 in Pegasus and Nova Blast 4. But the lightweight does add up over the course of the race, having a little bit extra balance, making it a little bit easier to run. And that's what we look for. We want a race shoe to make it easier to run. And that's what these two did for our friends Clayton and Connor. Let's go hit this breakdown though.
Wop, 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 wop. That em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
I am too sweaty to put on the flag again. All right, we got 4 miles across the Alphafly 3 and Sky Paris this morning. Just some fun. Oh, we got to make sure it's focused. Yesterday in the Noosa try video, it was all out of focus. But just some fun morning miles. Low fun comparison of these Olympic marathon shoes. So Connor Mantz's shoe here, Alphafly 3. This thing feels bouncy, it feels fun, and it feels aggressive. And I think those are the 3 qualities that I look for in a race shoe. I want it to be bouncy, I want it to be fun, I want it to be aggressive. I also want it to be stable. This thing actually has good stability from how wide it is. So I'm surprised at how much I've started to like the Alphafly. The last run I did in it before this morning was a 22-mile long run progression where I ended under 6-minute pace. I think I ended at around a 5:40 pace, so I ended at threshold pace. And I was flying in this thing. It makes it so easy to run. I can pop off the forefoot. It encourages me to run, I think, with better form, with better mechanics. I feel stronger when I run in this shoe. And that's the good part of having a special feeling race shoe, right? It can bring the best out of us on race day if we reserve a shoe to feel special. So there's a few different paths we could go with our race shoe, right? We pick something we feel comfortable and confident in, like a Nova Blast or a Super Blast, and we say, hey, I just want to be comfortable for the entirety of the distance. Or we pull something out that we think might bring out the best in us, something different that we don't access during training. That's what I went for during my last marathon. I went for the Sky Paris because it felt the fastest, the most aggressive, the most nimble out of all the race shoes. But for me, this is too aggressive. It's too narrow. It's not comfortable. And it also, the foam just doesn't feel fun and exciting for me. And I think that's fine for the elites, but man, even compared to the Evo Pro here, this is even lighter than the Sky Paris, right? But the rocker is nicer. You get a way better curve up here. You also get more stability out in the back. Can you see that? The Evo is actually significantly wider. The $500 5-ounce race shoe is significantly wider than the Sky Paris. So I love this shoe. I love what they're doing with it. The Alphafly is different in that it feels a lot more aggressive. There's more going on in the front, but two similar types of shoes in that they have those really nice rockers and they bring the best out of me while offering some fun. So when I'm running 5-minute pace in either of these shoes, Alphafly and Evo Pro, I feel locked in. I feel connected. I feel like I have to focus on running fast, but at the same time, I don't feel like I have to alter my mechanics all that much, even in the $500 Evo, which should be the most aggressive shoe out there. That's not how I feel in the Sky Paris. Personally, this thing is just a little bit too aggressive for me. It's too narrow. And with Clayton Young and the elites, I think they're able to run in this shoe because they're trained to run professionally. They've been running for 2 decades, and it almost feels like this is a shoe that you need to learn how to run a certain way. And I think if I were racing a mile in it or doing some sprint repeats, it could be okay and just landing on the front, but it's still just not the most comfortable. It feels like you have to have pinpoint accuracy, which is why I'm just really questioning why the heck would I pick this shoe to run my marathon? It makes no sense. I don't know what I was thinking. This shoe is way more forgiving. You get a wider base. I wasn't sold on it initially, but I've warmed up to it, and it does feel a little bit better than when I first tried it for heel strikers. And yes, it encourages a faster pace, but it doesn't make me feel like I need to run 4:49 pace for it to work. It works for me at 6:30 pace. It works for me at 7 flat pace. It has a little bit It's a helicopter. It has a little bit wider of a range of paces that it works for, and because of how wide it is, it's a little bit more forgiving just in terms of where you need to land for it to work best. You can land up here, you could also land here, you could even land all the way back here. You can't aggressively heel strike with your foot pointed up, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. That's when heel striking is bad, when you're landing with your toes pointed up. But if you're gently landing on the back, rolling forward, doing more of a flat-footed land with your foot underneath your hips, that's okay, and that's what the shoe encourages. This is a way more forgiving shoe, way more comfortable shoe for me than the Sky Paris. It also has a better upper. But regardless, man, we saw 4 different shoes here today, right? Evo, Alphafly, where's our friend, the Edge here, and the Sky. 4 very different shoes. They all use PIBA, they all use a lightweight racing foam, but different athletes were all able to bring the best out of these shoes. And that's what I always like to say, right? Having the right shoe can make us feel comfortable and confident, but it's not gonna run the race for us. It's not gonna win the race for us. Yes, the fastest athlete also had the most expensive shoe on, but that's just because they were sponsored by Adidas. It easily could have been the Asics guy, right? Capruto, he easily could have won as well, and the Edge Paris. These are all great shoes for running fast. There's also a lot of great shoes that don't cost $250. Asics Nova Blast 4 is a great one for first-time marathoners and for anyone who just wants comfort for time on feet. A lot of people like the Asics Super Blast for that as well. Hoka Skyward X is another good one. That is $225, but a much less aggressive alternative than these shoes out there. And the last one I want to mention was New Balance SC Trainer V3. I didn't personally love it because it didn't feel as exciting as some of these race shoes, and even as some of the plated training shoes at the same price, like the Hyperion Max 2 and the Magic Speed 4. But Charlie's been getting some miles in that shoe and she loves it. She says it's the best shoe that she's running, and she's never run a plated training shoe before. So if you're looking for Carbon County, if you want to go to Carbon County on race day but don't want to spend a grip, you don't want to be dropping a stack, you just want to drop half a stack, I got Brad spraying in the back. yeah, if you don't want to drop half a stack or a full stack, you could drop half a stack on the New Balance SC Trainer B3. So this was a fun one. I don't even really know what the point was other than I think I just wanted to celebrate our American athletes putting in the work, man. It is a whole lot of work to dedicate your life, decades, hours, all the sacrifice that goes into becoming an Olympic athlete. I don't even know how I forgot to shout out Quincy Hall. If you have not seen the Quincy Hall 400-meter race, you need to stop this video now. I'll put it in the link, the description below. That boy found something different, man. I want to get him on the channel at some point. That guy is a complete savage. He's a complete savage. So yeah, shout out Quincy Hall. Shout out Tara Davis-Woodhall. Shout out Gabby Thomas. Shout out Clayton Young. Shout out Connor Mann. Shout out Noah Lyles. Shout out Kung Fu Kenny. He didn't win a gold, but we could still shout him out because he has swag. Shout out. There's a lot of people we got to shout out, but all of our homegrown athletes putting in work, man. That's what we're all about on this channel, putting in the work. It's not about the shoes, it's about the work, baby. So we got a 20-mile long run tomorrow. I kind of want to wear the Alphafly for it. I'm not. I'm going to save it, but that was my takeaway from this video, I guess. This is becoming one of my favorite race shoes. I'm going to have to get some miles in it soon, get it up to 100 miles. We got the long run tomorrow. Hopefully I didn't push it too hard today doing a bunch of shenanigans, but that's it. That's it. Let's play the national anthem one more time, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
No love boy, you ball boy, fresh Gatorade or something. Since 2009, I had this jumping. You to get a wedgie, be flipped over your boxes or over your foe. The other option. You know you niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me, and I'ma send it up the pot. Ay, put the road label on me, I'ma get them dropped. Ay, sweet chin music, and I won't pass the ox. Ay, how many stocks do I really have in stock? Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bro, I'm about to get kicked out of Mint Hill. The mayor's about to literally kick me out of Mint Hill. Whole squad putting in work. But one more thing, I had to give a shout out to my guy Lenny Career. Oh, Reevesy's putting in work. Yeah, my guy Lenny Career. This is him at the Olympic trials, but he ran in the Alphafly at the Olympic trials. I think he ran in this probably today too. So shout out Lenny Career, America's third marathoner in the Olympics. He was probably rocking the Alphafly. I haven't found any pictures, but he's an Alphafly guy. So shout out Clayton, shout out Connor, shout out Lenny, putting in work for Team USA. Let's go.